So hi everybody and welcome back to Unreal Engine 5 full game tutorial series for absolute beginners. This video 81, and in this video we continue with our footsteps, and in our last video we stopped where we already created the material, the Pyhsical material, and we created here a sphere trace. And from the sphere trace we get here this Pyhsical material as a surface type, and I have already said we have now to select, and the select here I said this is set in the project settings on surface types which you can define. I showed you all this kind of stuff, and now we need just to add sound, and that's it. And there are different ways you can make here anything here variable and then add the sounds here. There are different ways, I think, and I show you the way how they used here it in this horror engine, and they use just a struct. So let's go into it and create also a struct, and I will explain what a struct is. Let's go here, let's go to our folder, game folder, let's create here a struct. I already created here anywhere a struct folder. You create it also. And then in the struct folder, you click right click, you go to blueprints, this one. Then here down you see structs, you click on it, I call it, for example, s_footstep2 or something like that. You call it what you think it's right for you. Then you open up, then you can see a struct is just here a variable. So you can see a struct has only variables in this, at least in Unreal Engine. In general programming, a struct is different. Because a struct in a class is same, but Unreal Engine treated it just as a variable container, which means we can't put in code and stuff like this. That's very important to know, but that's enough for us and it makes it even easier. So let's get, so here we have just a variable. Let's call it, for example, our first sound variable. What I want is, for example, let's call it grass. Then we have to change the type because we need a sound type. It's a variable, and a variable has all time a type. Okay, sound, what was it? Sound type? No, sound base was it. You have to find the right thing here. In this case it's a sound base, and let's make an object type. So how you can find this sound base, that depends what you want to save in this variable, right? In our case I want to save, for example, this sound, which it's a wave file or a Q file, and this one needs a sound base. So you have to research this on the documentation, what type, how we can save sounds, and you will see that it's this one. All right, I created one, but the problem is I want more, because with one we have nothing to select. So how you can make this, here on top you click add variable. Let's make here one. Of course you can add here more, but for this demonstration let me add just one more, and you can add here more, and let's say this is a dirt one. Let's make this one dirt. Again, you write here find the again sound base, and then that's it. All the other things we don't need. Of course you can check what they are, but important is now after you save this, we are still here. This here needs to be assigned, so we have to assign the sound. The sound you have created or get it already created. I use, for example, the horror engine sound, and I can assign the sound. So you can assign this later in-game through blueprint and code, but here we have also default variables, and default variables, when we switch to this one, means I can assign here default values, and default values in our case it's perfect because we already know what we need. And if you have the sounds, and you can see the sound base here which we selected is exactly that what we can select now here. And there are two formats. There is the wave format and the Q format. The difference is Q is created from Unreal Engine, and Q means you can add more functionality with graphs, and Q means you just use that what was imported, and you still can change a little bit, just options, but not create a thing. But important is now let's continue, and let's say I need grass. Let's grass, and the horror engine has already grass one, and the wave file is all time cheaper. The Q file is all time used if you add more functionality. In my case I don't care. Let's select this one, and let's select here dirt, and then you can check if this is okay. You can click here the magnitude file, and then we go there, and let's see where I am. Here I am. This is my grass. The other one, let's click here, is this one. And then you can check this. Okay, that's it. That's all what we needed. And now we can go back to our horror engine. And we need now we have created this struct, and interesting is this struct is a type. What means a type? We can just create a variable. Let's go again to horror engine. Here's the horror engine. Then you go to the variable types, click, where's the variable here? Click a plus, and we create just a normal variable. Let's call it FootStepSound. And then after you click FootStepSounds, it's just a normal variable. We go here to this one. To the type again, and this what we created, the struct is a type. So I can write here as underscore, for example, FootStepTo, and you can see I already created one another. Here is that what we created. I can select it. You compile it then, and after the compile, you select it again, and you can go to details panel and default values. You see that what you have, and that's why is this so nice, because we just can get it now. Not set it. Because you will set it only if you have not assigned anything here, or you want to assign later anything else here. But in our case, we already have assigned this one, and we won't use this, so we can just get it. So we go here again. Let's get this one. Where is this one here? Let's get this. Why I click here set? I'm blind. Oh, what? Here get, okay, and then again you can just split here the pin, then you have this one, or the other way around. We comment this, or you can just use this one again and break as, then you'll see what you have here. And then you just connect this, because this one here contains now the sound, right? And here you connect this to grass if you find this here, and dirt to the other one, it's here. And we are almost finished. Then we have just, after the selector here, this one will select us. So this trace here checks the surface. The surface says, hey, I'm a dirt, and the index says I'm a dirt, and then he will check here all, I have found a dirt, and the dirt will come out. What we have to add here is just spawn sound, because we have now played a sound, and this here is our sound, and that's it. At location, okay, they use spawn sound and location, but okay, let's make this okay. Spawn sound at location. At location means just not in general, then you have to specify the location as well, but you, if you want, it's more accurate, for example, where the player is. So you would probably get here just the player, get player and get player location, and then connect this here. Let's see how they did this, and you can see, yeah, they made it from the sphere trace, because the sphere trace is exactly where the player is, and you can see here the sphere starts here. Get player pawn, this is your player character. Get actor location, and then this is the start. The end is again horizontal. That's why they use on the Z axis, and down it's the endpoints, and that's why they use here just get hit actor location. But like I said, in our case, we can just get player. You can make something like this is the same. Get player character, then here get actor location, and that's it, because this is the player, right? If you want to skip this, so this is that. Then, of course, you have called this appropriately, right? For example, yeah, this is just selecting. Then you do this one. And yeah, like I said, the other things you have to set up probably now. What I mean with other settings, this one here, how you call the sphere trees, when you call it. For example, in Horror Engine here, they call it after, let's go back to the character. The character here is a movement component, which means when I press my arrow key forward or my W key, depends how you play it, then this one is pushing move forward. Move forward will all time trigger this function which they use to head shake or footsteps, right? And this solution here from the Horror Engine is not good, because they use they use these frames. These frames are updated here 1,000 times, no, not 1,000 times, but too much. And normally you don't want this, and that's why this solution is not optimized. And you as a programmer, you as a game creator, you have to optimize this one. And I think I don't go now not into this one. Important is here to note the reason why it works on his setup here because normally this sound will be played here, what he is making 1,000 times. The reason why it works is he has here this setup here, because here start, end, and ignore list are only the notes here, but this here is a check if you have walked a certain distance, and if you have not walked a certain distance, this one here will be not triggered, also the whole thing here will be not triggered. And this is just a check. You can see a check, you can see here's the branch, and so he is avoiding that the sound is played permanently. And yeah, but I'm not going into this one right now. But this is the basic understanding. If you understand this one, then you find how to set these other things up, and that's it. And then you have different sounds. All right, with that said, I want to stop here this video. If you have any questions, anything what you want to ask in the comment sections like all time. See you in the next video, and there we'll probably go with our other setup again with the Pro Stone, because we have to do a little bit cleanup and a little bit more progress with other things. All right, see you there. Bye, good luck, and like all time, have fun and never give up.